Hey everyone, and welcome back. So I wanted to just put out a very quick preview video to give you guys an idea of what's coming in the next couple of weeks. So it is Friday night, and first thing, bright and early, Sunday morning, 2 days from now, I am going to get on a loaded Himalayan and again go for another week-long Colorado adventure. Now you might remember exactly a year ago, the same week in July last year, I did a similar trip, and that was really my first ever multi-day motorcycling trip, and it was the inaugural multi-day ride for the Himalayan as well. So there was a lot of new things happening on that trip, and you may also remember that I did not go straight to Silverton. I took a very circuitous route. I went over through New Mexico and up into southern Colorado, and then I ultimately swung all the way over to the Sangre de Cristo range to hike a couple of 14ers that I still needed to do. After summiting the 14ers, I swung back around through central Colorado and eventually landed in Silverton for the Hardrock 100 foot race, which happens every year, this time in July. So again, that is my end goal, to make it to Silverton for this particular running event. And the reason that I go there every year is, one, it's just a really cool event, and I like to do trail races and I like to support the runners, but also I am the captain of one of the aid stations at the event. So I actually run the finish line aid station, which sounds kind of weird. You're probably thinking, why would they need aid at the finish if they're done? But you'd be surprised. Imagine for 24 to 48 hours, you're eating nothing but running food, so gels and crappy supplements and things like that, and Cliff bars, and you finish the race. What's the first thing you're going to want to do after you sit down? You're going to want some substantial real food. So we cook up burgers, we got pizza, we got breakfast burritos, we do it all. We cook it all up right there on the spot, and that's my job. Now I'm going to be taking a different route this year. Rather than heading over towards New Mexico, Sunday morning, bright and early, I'm going to be heading directly north with the goal of riding through and around Monument Valley. So you know that famous shot in Forrest Gump where he's running down and you've got those big rock mittens? That's where I'm going to be riding the bike through, and I'm really stoked to just explore some of that particular park with the motorcycle. And then I'll finish the day a little bit further north, closer to Moab, which leads to day 2, which is I'm going to get up again bright and early and spend all morning doing this really kick-ass loop around Moab and Canyonlands. I'm going to check out this very famous twisty road that goes up to the top of the Canyonlands sort of escarpment and then comes right back down again. There's this place called Dead Horse Point, which I'm going to go out to. Just lots of cool places, and I'm going to get tons of footage. Once I've explored there in the morning, I will start making my way over to Colorado and ultimately end the day somewhere kind of in the general vicinity of Aspen. And the reason that I'm heading into that direction is because on day 3, I'm going to get up dark and early before sunrise and ride about 40 miles down to the trailhead for Castle Peak and Conundrum Peak. Now both of these peaks are 14ers, and they are 2 that I obviously still have yet to do, and they are also 2 fairly moderate, not too strenuous ones. So I'm excited that I'm not going to be going into some really technical stuff like I did last year with the Crestones. Those peaks were off the charts. Now, if you have no idea what I'm talking about with respect to 14ers, let me catch you up to speed. It is generally accepted that there are 58 peaks in Colorado that are either at or over 14,000 feet. And a lot of people, like myself, want to summit them all. It's just one of those things. It's a nice goal to have, to check them all off, just like visiting all the states or visiting all the state high points or something like that. And so I am currently sitting at 51. So I've only got 7 peaks left to get them all. And with these 2 that I've got planned, obviously that'll put me at 53. And in the next couple of years, my goal is to finish the remaining 5. Once I've completed the peaks, I am going to start making my way towards Silverton, except this time, instead of just driving straight through Ouray, I am going to pop over and do a small loop on the Alpine loop and check out Engineer Pass and some of the loop itself. So I'm pretty excited about that. I was going to do it last year, but I just sort of ran out of time, and so that is also on my agenda for this year. So we'll see how the Himalayan holds up. Some of the Alpine loop can be a bit technical, but I'm trying to sort of broaden my horizons and expand my skill set a little bit. And now, one thing to note that is different this year that I'm quite excited about is that I am going to be packing much lighter. So last year, I brought all of my camping gear, my sleeping bag, my tent, everything, because I was going to be camping at the trailheads for the 14ers. This year, I've got a cabin very close to the trailhead, so I am not bringing all of that extra gear. I mean, I'm bringing my hiking gear and my day pack and things like that, but I am hoping to go much leaner, much lighter, more like the setup that I used for the Crooked Raven ride that I did last month. And even on that ride, I brought my camping gear. So I've just gotten a lot better and more efficient with how I've been packing. And so I think I'm gonna be able to get away with just my panniers, my tank bag, and one small duffel, as opposed to that monstrous orange duffel I had last year. Now, once I finish that portion of the Alpine Loop, I will end up in Silverton, and at that point, for the next 48 hours, I will be 100% committed and dedicated to the runners in the Hardrock race. So that's gonna be long hours, lots of cooking, rotating shifts, doing whatever I need to do to make sure the runners are fed and happy. Now, once the race is over and all the runners have gone their respective ways, I will finally take a nap, but then also pack up the bike and start making my way back home here to Flagstaff. And if I do what I did last year, I'll probably just try to make that drive in one go, depending on how tired I am and the weather and things like that. But I don't really have any plans to sort of stop and check anything out along the way back home. I think at that point, I'll just want to get home. But all that's to say, Monument Valley, Moab, Canyonlands, the Rocky Mountains, Aspen, 14ers, Ouray, the Alpine Loop, I mean, the whole shebang. It's gonna be bonkers, and I am so excited to just get on the bike and zen out, man, and just go and be an explorer. So one other thing that's different is I did get the drone working again, so I'm hoping to bring it if there's room and get some good aerial footage in the mountains. But that's pretty much it. I will try to get out the videos as fast as I can and get out some really fun and exciting content. Hopefully not make you guys too jealous of some of the cool places I'm going to be exploring, but oh, I am so stoked to get out there. So thank you so much. Take care, be safe, and I will see you from Colorado. Ooh, that is a bit sketchy looking down. I'm getting a little woozy. I'm gonna roll in off this perch here because it's scaring me a little bit. Yeah, I was sitting right on the edge there. No joke.